Hi, welcome to Comedy on Tap. I'm Mark Bonto, and we are back again. We have another great show today. Before we get started, though, remember to tune in each week right here at Comcast, and we're shown in several areas, different times, but tune in each week and see Comedy on Tap with me. This week, we have a comedian who has been around for a little bit. We'll find out how long. He does stand-up throughout many places, and he's a good buddy of mine. So welcome to the show, comedian Nick Hilton. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice seeing you. So, have you ever been on a TV show before?
No.
Really? Well, there you go. See, there you go. It's perfect.
I was on the news once, though.
What tell me about that?
I was the mascot for my high school.
Were you wearing a costume?
Yeah. They couldn't see my face.
They couldn't see your face?
That's the first time my face has...
You were hidden behind it.
Yeah.
You do comedy a lot for one of my shows, the Funny Spot show. But you do a lot more than that. How long have you done comedy?
Not even a year yet. It'll be a year on July 19th.
Well, this is a rerun, so by the time this is aired and rerun, you'll be an Oprah.
Yeah. You're making the big bucks.
How did you get started? So you've been doing it a little while. I know personally that you've come a long way. I mean, you always started, you were good, but you've become so comfortable and so good. How did you start?
I've always wanted to do comedy. You know, it was one of those things that I just couldn't get up in front of people.
Yeah. Did you think you were funny?
I always thought I was funny. But I just couldn't get over that stage fright thing, that first step, and then I found a friend that wanted to do it too. So
you didn't start off by acting. You've never been on stage. No kind of stage experience.
No.
And to start off in stand up, I can tell you, from not doing anything is quite a leap. I think from here is going to be downhill.
Yeah, it was scary and terrible. The first few times.
Well, tell me about the first time. So your buddy says, "Come on, Nick, let's go."
Well, I already had signed up to do a show at the Green Door in Lansing, and I told him about it. I was like, "Oh man, I really have always wanted to do it too." So he kind of forced me to actually go through with it.
How did you prepare for it? What did you do? You think of all funny stuff that's happened to you?
Well, I've always wanted to do it, so I already had a bunch of writing material and stuff. So
you had your set all ready to go?
Oh yeah. I didn't realize 7 minutes was as long as it actually is. But
it's a long time, I think, isn't it, by yourself?
Yeah, so it was a learning experience. And
how did it go?
It was the first time.
Not great, not bad.
Yeah, not great, but not terrible enough that I'd never do it again.
Right. So, a little nervous, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still get nervous, so it's just one of those things that
never
really goes away. You just learn how to control it.
So from there, did you start performing a lot, or how?
From there, I started in July, in the middle of July, and I would do it once a week, and I did it once a week until the end of the year. And then in January, I actually started taking it more than just once a week, or doing it more than once a week.
How'd you get your gigs? How did that go?
The Michigan Comics Network on Facebook.
Sure.
Just signed up and started asking for spots.
So now you're at the spot, and I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but now you're at the spot where are you being requested more than you're requesting, or are you still?
No.
Really?
You're the only one that requests me.
Yikes.
So
that's okay.
I appreciate it.
Well, that's okay. So, but you're performing now. I know that you perform in a whole bunch of different places, right?
Yeah, I've in Grand Rapids done a couple shows in Kalamazoo, Saginaw. But I usually go Lansing, Saginaw, and Flint, or usually.
Because you're from?
I'm from Owasso, which is right in the center of those three. So.
And there's nothing right in Owasso, but so you do a lot of traveling for the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, that's good. So so you've never done anything before that. Well, what kind of, now I know this because you've done a lot of my shows, but now how would you describe your comedy?
Hopefully funny. I don't know, like I've heard from other people that it's a lot of one-liners, but I don't know.
Really?
Like, I don't see it.
Well, I know that, I mean,
like, my influence is like Mitch Hedberg.
Right.
Like, he was a genius.
he was.
And
I was going to ask you about your favorite comedian.
the first comedian I ever watched was Eddie Murphy. Delirious. I was like 12, and my dad
Right.
let me watch it for some reason.
Right.
He's a good dad.
Of course.
And that's kind of what I want, like the beginning of wanting to do it. It just took me 15 years to actually get it.
Now I know you. You don't. I don't really see you doing like one-liners like Hedberg or a lot of the one-liners, Stephen Wright type of thing. You're more into, I don't want to say situational comedy.
Yeah,
observational.
Right. I'd say. Yeah,
Right.
a lot of observations.
And, and who can talk? You mentioned midgets.
Oh,
And all of a sudden, it's funny. You do a great set, and like I said, Nick, you've come a long way in your comedy career. Now you talk about things like that, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
Where do you get your stuff? I mean, do you have a midget uncle?
no, I watched Little People Big World. And I was like,
So it does come from real experience.
yeah. I was watching that, and I was like thinking, what if you did a trust fall with a midget? But
Is that where most of your stuff comes from? Then is it stuff that you
observations?
Yeah.
A lot of it, and then just poking fun at myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Would be. Like I've been called a chubby Matt Damon. That's-
I hadn't thought about that. You do kind of look like Matt Damon.
yeah, I just hope it's not the Matt Damon from Team America.
Not that he couldn't do stand up. So,
Yeah.
But you still get nervous when you go up on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so when you're called, tell me a little bit about when you do stand up. You travel to different gigs. Are you usually? I mean, just what's the routine when you go up there? Are you? Do you have something set to say?
I like on the way to the venue. I listen to a lot of Eminem. I don't know. it just gets me in the moment, I guess. Like,
Is that really?
yeah, and I just really enjoy Eminem. But
The rapper?
yes, and I eat M&Ms on the way too.
Wow.
And then I do have a set list, and then I write it down like one words to just kind of refresh my memory if I lose track. But I usually try to switch it up a little bit. But
So when you're doing, so you've got a set memorized, and when you're on stage, you're going to do it. Now I know from experience that you, from having you on my shows, that you really become comfortable in front of doing crowd work. And I've been doing stand-up comedy 38 years, and I can tell you that crowd work is not easy.
yeah,
Especially to make it, and you become so comfortable already. How did that figure in? I mean, of course you have to deal with it, but the fact that you do it so well.
I go out to bars a lot and just talk to drunk people, so that kind of helps, I guess.
So do you don't really have anything in mind to say to them, you just engage?
There's a few things that are like go-to that you write down just to have it in your back pocket if you need it,
Yeah.
But most of the time you can't really
Prepare.
trick people into putting or going to that,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's all quick wits, I
So-
guess.
Well, you do good with the crowd. So you have that set all memorized, and if crowd work comes up, you do the crowd work, but otherwise you just go through your set.
Yeah.
Now, have you changed your set much throughout this year?
Not really. No.
Brutal honesty, Nick.
No, not at all. And I haven't honestly been writing like I should. But
Well, you work.
starting.
Now,
Yeah.
we've talked about how comedians, it's tough to do like what you do, traveling and hitting all the venues, and still have a job.
Oh yeah.
But you do that.
Yeah.
How do you
And
manage it?
thankfully, like I don't have to be to work until 9:00.
Oh, good.
And a lot of comedians, like their day job starts at 6, which
Yeah.
would be miserable because if you, like say I had a show in Kalamazoo, it's 2 hours just to Lansing and then another 45 minutes to get to Owasso. So it's almost,
Yeah.
it's a late night.
So, and you work like regular work week,
Yep.
right?
Yep, 40 hours a week.
So you've got to fit it in.
Yeah, I usually try to take at least one day off. Just
What's your take on comedians and most of them and how the thought process? Do you feel yourself fitting into the comedy world?
Not really.
Which
Like I've always been kind of that like loner kind of just sit in the corner and people watch kind of person. So
now people know you're doing comedy. Do you find them? Nick, tell me a joke. Nick, tell me.
oh god, it's miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can't. But I mean, I don't like it. But especially being from Owasso, there's no comedians in Owasso
Right.
other than Danner.
Right.
But
Right.
But yeah, like people see me out at the bar or something, or out in public, and just like, hey, tell me a joke. Oh, you're not very funny. Yeah.
Well, you're going to get a lot of exposure from this TV show. Are you noticed otherwise? Anybody ever stopped you at the mall and said, hey, I saw you at the club or no?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, once the show airs, be prepared. What about after the shows? Do you ever get that after the shows?
I have people come up to me after the shows and tell me that I was funny.
Yeah.
And my favorite compliment was I made this girl cry. Like tear up when she was laughing. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is
it
cool.
was good. But I like the fact that like if they're having a bad day, like I could possibly switch it over.
Now, that's interesting you say that. Is that one of your drivers to doing comedy? Do you really want to make...
Yeah. Like I've always been like in school, like you know that like there's those two funny kids in school. Like I was one of the funny kids and I hated the other funny.
Right.
So that kind of I had to out funny him
Right.
throughout school. So
But did you try to make the other non-funny kids smile?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
which is hard. I've noticed.
Why is that?
Making comedians laugh
Yeah.
is one of the hardest things to do because they know
Right.
what you're trying to do.
Right. Well, what
It's
about
like a
the
magician.
Right. Good point. What about the non-funny kids? What about the non-funny people? I mean, you know, I know you. You seem a little subdued, but you're very funny. So you try to draw that out of them.
Yeah. I try to make people open up.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah. I mean, you know. I don't.
It
really
just
know
makes
what
it
I'm
more
gonna say.
fun. Like I like outgoing people. Like
Yeah.
I give a lot of people like crap. Like I just like making fun of people. And if they make fun of me back, that's better than just making
Yeah.
me feel like a jerk.
Working with. What's your favorite part about working with comedians?
Probably before and after the show.
Yeah. Just talking.
Just hanging out, because I mean, like bringing it back to the people that like tell me a joke. People
Right.
like they don't really know what we actually do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have that camaraderie with other comedians and like because we all know what we're going through.
Right. That makes sense.
But
No, a lot. You said about.
we have a lot in common, I guess.
And that's good.
Yeah. And I'd rather be friends with a comedian than an actual person.
Because they know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You said that your routine was M&M's, listen to Eminem, and you were kidding about eating M&M's.
Yeah.
But
Skill.
listening to Eminem, do you have any other regimens you do to prepare for a show?
I try not to drink.
Yeah, tell me about that.
I try, I don't want, well, one time I had to show up in Onaway, which is up there.
Right.
And we were staying the night, so we got up there around 5 o'clock. The show didn't start until 8, and we started drinking as soon as we got up there. And I felt like it was sloppy, but I guess the crowd liked it.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be like a crutch. Like, I don't want...
So do you normally drink before the show or not?
No. I try to maybe one drink here and there, but...
Loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. Mostly water. I get cotton mouth a lot.
Do you take a water up on stage with you? I can't remember. No.
Which I should. Be a nice segue.
It would be. Give you a little break
that
there.
down.
If you write stuff down. Did you take a class or do anything? You said you just got up the first time and you started. Was there any kind of comedy, or have you taken anything? No.
I've read a couple books. Like I read that Judy Carter's Comedy Bible. I think that was the first one I read.
Uh-huh.
And I've been reading a couple of other books.
Do you find yourself associating with these people?
Just some, a little bit,
right.
But a lot of it. Like, I feel like you got to do it your own way, and they're more of suggestions, kind of. Like the way they tell you how to do it is more of a suggestion.
You're right. You need to.
But you need to do it yourself.
You do
need to do it your own way. And
I like this story about the drinking to Onaway. Where was it?
Onaway,
Michigan. Have you ever gone out of state?
No.
Not
yet.
Well, you're a busy guy, and you're doing a lot.
It's hard to go to like Indiana or Ohio during the week. I mean, it's hard to go to Ohio anyway, but
they're tough down in Ohio. Wow, yeah, tough to see those. What about? So, but you told me the Onaway story. You've got to have some other kind of stories, either with the crowd, or with the city, or with the bar, or with your car. Or with jokes?
There's a story that Mike Ball put me on a show. And it was the day of the Michigan State U of M game. So they'd been drinking all day.
Right.
And we go out and they talk through every single comedian, just nonstop. Nothing. And it was like my fourth time going on stage. And it was like one of those shows that...
The audience talked throughout them?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it was scary. Because it was in Saginaw.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Saginaw's scary.
Right, of course not.
But it is.
So they were noisy.
Yes. And I was nervous enough, going out.
So what does a comedian do? Because one thing I can tell you that a comedian loves is an attentive audience. Mm-hmm. They love an attentive audience. You don't even have to laugh that much, just listen. So that's got to be, especially so new, even being experienced, that's very distracting.
It made me want to quit. It was scary.
Well, I hope it helps knowing that I think that you seem, and I've seen you come a long way, and I wouldn't just pull your chain. You've come very comfortable, which is a good comedian trait.
Yeah. Like when I first started, I'd have this stand right in front of me the entire time. Right. And I finally took it out, the mic out of the stand, and I felt really empowering.
But now you don't want, you're not that animated though. You don't want.
No, I just stand there. Yeah, and that's why I like standing there with the mic in front of me. It's like I was hiding behind the mic.
Right.
But now that I'm comfortable, I can.
Are you married, Nick?
No.
No, of course not. No, not Nick. So you don't have anything really holding you back as far as other than the job.
Right.
To just go full.
I could go full throttle if I wanted to.
Right.
But I like sleep.
Of course. Do you have any? Do you have any goals?
I would like it to be a full-time job. Yeah. I don't want to wake up every morning.
You want to make money at it and doing that more and more.
Yes. But other than that, as long as I can make enough to survive, I think I'd be all right.
So you're looking to expand a little bit more in comedy and go a little bit further. I know that you emceed. Didn't you MC? One show.
One show. For Floyd J. Phillips.
Okay.
In Flint at JW's.
Okay.
And that was nerve-wracking because he's an international headliner,
Yeah.
He does a bunch of USO shows. And I didn't want to screw it up. So
And when you MC, did you do your regular set first?
yeah, I did like 5 minutes, and then kind of just went on with the show.
Yeah.
But it's hard going first, like on like with nobody. Like being the MC is probably one of the hardest jobs.
Yeah.
Like
Take my word for it. That's very true. Because it's.
But it's like I've heard people say like that's bullet biter. You know.
It is.
Yeah, the MC bites the bullet for the rest of the show. You know?
Shouldn't they put? I schedule shows all the time, and of course I do it the traditional way, where you're supposed to put, your feature and your headliner at the end of the show. But wouldn't it be easier for the guys who are new and stuff to go at the end? That way they'll have people already warmed up.
I don't think so.
Why is
they have to learn.
They have to learn.
You know,
They have to take
being the first 3
right
in the show is still, I feel like one of the toughest 3 spots, you know.
Unless there's only 3 spots.
Right. I mean, then we're talking paid gigs. But like in an open mic setting, then the first 3, like usually.
Now for me you do what I consider, but they're called showcases, where it's scheduled and there's supposed to be a feature and a headliner, but whatever. But they're scheduled, but they're not like.
They're very laid back. I like your show.
Oh, good.
Because they're so laid back.
Well, that's good. That's nice. But they're not. But I don't consider like my shows open mics or show up, go
right.
up. Do you ever do? What type of shows do you mostly do? Is it like a open mic or is it?
I'll go up to Saginaw and do open mics, like at White's Bar, and then I'm friends with Carrie McCabe, which has a bunch of shows down in Jackson area. And he gets me on for showcases and stuff. So, so
you are becoming Nick Hilton is becoming a name out there.
Oh, a little bit.
A little bit.
I have a decent fan base. My mom.
Tell me about that though. Now, do you said we a little while ago? Do you bring people to your shows? I mean, it's hard, knowing you. I happen to know a lot of these answers, but do you bring people to your shows, or do you find
friends?
Yeah,
or
acquaintances,
like audience members.
Yeah,
guys?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, as opposed to fellow comics. I meant friends or audience members.
Sometimes they'll hear about it and come to them.
Right. But you don't generally go to shows with.
I don't ask them to come with me,
Right.
But because I feel like I don't want those laughs. I want to make strangers laugh. I feel like.
That's an interesting.
Yeah. Those laughs are too easy. I've already conquered those.
I think I'll tell you off camera how I feel about that, and I feel real strongly about that. I think that's an amazing point. That is something coming from experience that I can tell you that that is a great attitude. I've never heard a comedian actually say that before, but that's a great attitude, because if you're going to go anywhere in comedy, your friends and your family are great to have, and a support system like that who know you are great to have. But if you can win over people, that's what comedy is all about, is winning over people who don't know you.
Yeah, because how many people do you know?
Right.
Not enough to make a career.
Not only that, but people who know you and are related to you.
And they already know your sense of humor.
Right.
So.
Well, not only that, but they're going to say, Nick, you did great, even if you didn't do great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you want that real. Yeah. You want the truth.
I want strangers to laugh and tell me that I did great. Not my grandma.
Your grandma. So, do you get, after the shows, you said that sometimes people come up to you and...
Yeah, very
critique
rarely.
Critique your show, critique your set.
Critiquing part, I try walking away very fast, but if they're going to tell me that I did really good.
So if you hear an insult coming in.
Yeah, I can smell it in the air.
Right. You know what's coming, huh?
Oh, this is going to be bad.
With the few minutes we got left, tell us where, now this is going to be, of course, rerun and probably air later. So we don't want to mention dates but you said that people can see you In Jackson?
Green Door.
That's in Lansing.
In Lansing.
The Funny Spot in Flint.
The Funny Spot in Flint. White's Bar in Saginaw are probably the 3 that I frequent the most.
Right.
So, yeah.
So if they want to get a hold of Nick Hilton,
You can find me on Facebook.
under
My Twitter is Nick Hilton 317 or at Nick Hilton 317. I don't.
What is 316? Is that your birthday?
No, it is actually.
Is there a story behind this?
Yes,
Aha.
there is. It was an old street address that I had in my childhood home.
That's interesting.
And every time I look up at the clock, it's 3:17. So it's kind of every time I look at my Twitter, it's 3:17.
You should play that as a number. Play 317. My childhood address was 3617.
Oh, really?
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And we all remember our childhood addresses. Maybe you should do something on that.
Yeah.
Did a midget ever live at 317? He's got a great bit in his about midgets. I'm sorry to say that.
Fine.
So you'll have to check out Nick Hilton
Yes.
if you want to see exactly what he does say, but it's hilarious. And he also does, like I said, some great crowd work as well.
Thank you.
Nick, thanks for being with us today. I always like to give guests just a parting shot, a parting comment. Your overall, are you happy with this endeavor? Are you going to continue? I just feel like sometimes it's like,
I mean, there's days that I don't like it. And there's days that I love it. So it's one of those love-hate relationships that is just never gonna stop.
You're going to continue with it.
Oh, yeah.
Well-
Like I said, I don't want to wake up for a real job anymore.
There you go. Support him, Nick Hilton. You can see him in Saginaw, Lansing, Flint at the Mark Bunto's The Funny Spot. And check him out on Facebook, Nick Hilton. Is there a lot of Nick Hiltons on Facebook?
Yeah, and I'm friends with all of them. So
Well, look up the one with the red hat. What is your profile? Well, of course,
it's me on stage
Oh, is it?
doing things.
Comedian Nick Hilton. Nick, thanks so much for being with
Thank you
us.
for having me.
Thanks again. This is Mark Bunto for Comedy on Tap. We will see you next week. Everyone have a funny night. Good night, everyone.